So apparently during test screenings, this was off the charts according to Searchlights. But after it went to festivals, people died down on Rental Family. Should Rental Family be in the conversation? Maybe. Maybe not. Let's find out. Chase Liaki here with Blue Futon reviewing Rental Family. What's about? Pretty simple premise. You have an American actor that's been in Japan for 7 years and is getting the token white role in like commercials and some movies and things like that. However, he now has an opportunity to work at a rental family agency, and that is someone who poses as a father, poses as a sad American, poses for a friend, poses for other things to make people's lives happier. And this is very much more of a cultural thing because in America, this wouldn't happen. It's more of a Japanese thing. However, there's a couple main storylines, especially him connecting with a girl and an older man, and at the same time wondering what he's doing with his life, as well as should he continue with his acting career and maybe move to Korea. So did I like this film? I did. This is a very much a warm-hearted film about connection, about trust, and about getting along with people in the world. This is about the epidemic of loneliness. This truly is. This might feel like, oh no, the people he's helping is lonely. No, these people that are actors are also extremely lonely as well, and they're trying to connect in society in any way possible. And I think that overarching message of loneliness truly resonates with where statistics are going with this world, with birth rates declining, except in very few religions, as well as cultural and and humanistic things, right? Because now it's the first time ever that women want to get married less than men. So that is a very alarming rate where you're like, where are we going in today's day and age? Is there going to be a trajectory to go back to normal or quote unquote normal? I do think that's normal wanting to get married. So anyway, pauses. Brendan Fraser, everyone does great in this movie, especially him. All the other actors as well. Let me get their names real quick. We have Takehiro Hira, Mari Yamamoto. We have Kimura Bun. And then the older guy, if I could find him real quick, where's he at? Where's he at in this one? And Akira Emoto. So those are the main actors in this movie, and they do a fantastic job. The premise of this movie is really good about, like I said, loneliness and things like that. And you do get the vibe of culture with Japan and how they're saying, even though you've been here for 7 years, even Japanese don't understand everything that Japanese do. That's probably the same thing with America because, Japan, you always think of Tokyo, but northern Japan, it's very, very snowy. And you think they're the same as, southern Japanese? No, same with China, same with America, north, south. Now, I do think it's interesting when Brendan Fraser went on, I think Seth Meyers and said America's doing it wrong with food and travel. It's hard for travel because when you think about it, like Nebraska and California and New York, and we're a bigger country compared to Japan. So I think there's a perspective there. Food, sure, it's probably a lot more fresher there, easier than next to the ocean, and they don't have to transport as well as others. Country-wise, you got to think about just logistically, but there is that as well, processing food. And Americans do love their McDonald's. So there is a fault there, but there is McDonald's in all parts of the world now. So there is that. All right, for the movie itself, I do think it does its job through in and throughout for the messaging, the overall aspects, and what we are going through in today's day and age. It looks great. Some people might say it's too simplistic. I disagree. Sometimes you don't need the hard left and hard right turns of politics or, the twists and turns. Oh my God. Sometimes you just need a soothing movie, a humanistic movie that just makes you appreciate life, appreciate who you have around you, and just appreciate the world. Because a movie like this really does that of like wanting to travel, wanting to get to know more people, and also be very respectful. Because this movie is also about being respectful for where you are at. Because there's a huge thing about Brendan Fraser about a dip out of a job. And they're like, you're about to ruin someone's life and you don't know this culture. You need to know assimilation. And I do think that is a very strong message too, because if I've lived in Portugal, even though they're kind of the same how they live, there are still a little bit of things that are different from Portuguese and American. So you try to speak the language, you try to assimilate to what their life is like. It's only the right thing to do. I don't move to Portugal to Americanize Portugal. Like, I'm not going to be a random person that goes to China and wants to Americanize China, which they will refuse to do that. And I do think that's something wrong with, we are doing in America personally. Like, if you come here, learn our way of life. And it's the same with the Japanese. If you go to Japan, learn their way of life through and throughout. There's also very cute storylines with the girl and the old man and how they connect with life. And that just really is nice. This might be a very simplistic review because this is a very simplistic movie, but that is not a fault. Some people say, oh, if it's a simple movie, it's a stupid, slow movie. That is very incorrect. I was never bored with this film. I was always entertained with this film. I was always having a smile on my face with this film. Yes, can you say that it is simple? Absolutely. Is that a fault? It might be for some, it might be for others. And you could say maybe that some storylines you do wish it would connect a little bit more, or you wish for a little bit more angst or explanation at the very end of like how the office really changed from dark to light, because you see the production design change as well of what was that and where did Brendan Fraser go, with the young girl, with his acting career. Did he just say screw acting and trying to work with other in South Korea and Japan, or did he just focus on this rental family agency? I mean, a little bit more of that would have been, just fun for personality sakes. But overall, Rental Family does its job for being a humanistic story. So Rental Family will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 90%. Let's see what the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics say 87% with 107, audience score at 97 with over 250, critic consensus, a sweet-natured dramedy about faking human connections until you make it. Rental Family provides Brendan Fraser an ideal showcase for sensitive star power while backing him up with a terrific ensemble. Absolutely. That's up to you to decide if you like this movie or not. 87, 97, 90. Chase out here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of those Futontopia. Your Blue Futonians. Thank you for watching. A great day. I can watch this day tomorrow, week from a year from now. Every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And do you need a rental in your family? Maybe. Maybe not.